Hey, man. I've been doing a little bit of alchemy lately, so I thought I would show you some. And fundamentally, it's this. Here's a garden. This is got some bleeding crown growing, and there's some deathbell. Deathbell is really handy because if you're going to do poison, it will increase the efficaciousness of the poison by half again. So 1.5 times poison damage if Deathbell is part of it. And that's some Imp Stool. And yeah. In the house here. What do you need, my thing? In the house here, I also have the, gosh, I don't know what it's called. The garden thing. What do they call it? The planting house? Boy, this is almost impossible to pick. I don't know why, but it's really hard to find something I can actually click on. Pothouse? I can't remember what it's called. This one and a giant thumb and something is a super expensive potion. Meaning you can make it and then sell it for a ton of money. Okay, so this is pretty much cleaned up, although I didn't get I don't have to work out, like, get this creeping vine thing here. Maybe I already collected it? I don't think I have. It's just hard to put the cursor in the right spot to get it to come up. Okay, so you can see that's cleared up. You saw the one outside was cleared up. So I think it's just going to take 2 days. So there's day number 1. And then what I'm going to show you is a paralysis potion that does 80 points of damage over 10 seconds. And the second one I'm going to show you is a poison that does increases your weakness to poison for X amount of time. And then I think it's just 2 days, so I'm going to do one other day. And then, so paralysis, the second potion is paralysis for X amount of time. I think 8 seconds I can do it, but as your alchemy gets better, it gets longer. And it also poisons a person for damage over 10 seconds. And again, in this case, it's a total of 80 points of damage over 10 seconds. So I've just waited the requisite 24 hours, and you'll notice the goddamn thing hasn't grown back yet. But if I come out here, like so, and pop out here, this hasn't grown back either. So maybe I need a 3rd day. So I'll come back in here, maybe we'll do one more day. Let me just make sure. Yeah, okay, one more day. In the background there, you can see the missus cooking me up a meal. You asked me why get married, and when you sleep out in the wild on like a bedroll, you get more experience for everything you do. I don't remember how much it is. And then if you sleep in a home of yours, then you get more. And if you sleep in a home of yours and you're married, it's 15%. So it's not like you can't get the bonus from sleeping without being married, but you get the maximum bonus from sleeping if you do it while you're married. She also will cook something once a day. And you say, give me this. And then she gives you this food here. Health, magic, and stamina 25% faster. It's not nothing, but it's just free for getting married. You know, I mean, it is what it is. And then she becomes a vendor, and you can sell her things. I don't know if I have anything to sell her. Apparently not. You can see, you know you're an alchemist when you have 47 zillion potions. This is the one I've been making. This is the first recipe I mentioned. Weakness to poison plus 24 points of poison damage. So you simultaneously make them more vulnerable to poison, and then you poison them. And here's the potion of paralysis. Target is paralyzed for 8 seconds, and then it drains their health by 8 points per second for 10 seconds. So basically, for the 8 seconds that they're down, they're going to take 60 points of damage. Ish. And then the last thing getting married does is you ask her, oh, has the made any money on your store, sweetheart? And she says, 300 gold. And I think that was 3 days worth. I think it's 100 gold a day. Okay, so I think one more day should do it. Or was that the third day? Now I'm lost. This might be the fourth day. I'm not sure. I think after 3 days you can. Well, let's find out. I think I had already. I'd already rested 3 days. I think, and I think you have to leave, and then come back in order for it to reset. Let me look out here. Yeah, see, this garden has come back. It might be 3 days total. So I'm just going to collect this. Bleeding Crown. Bleeding Crown. And Deathbell is 1.5 times damage if it's a poison, if that is one of the ingredients. And again, and here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, and I think when we go back inside, we will find that. Trying to get my alteration up so I can get really resist magic going. So these guys should be ready to go now, and they are. So this is one for the paralysis. This ingredient is for paralysis. Oh, too much to be able to. Really, I can't be carrying that much stuff. And paralysis, and we'll need the Canis Root, the Canis Root, the Canis Root, and wait for it, Canis Root. And then there's usually some butterflies flying around. I was going to show you those, but you can see the hanging moss. That's always handy. And I still can't collect this creeping out. You know, maybe I should plant this outside, but I can't seem to find the right point. Oh, there it was. There. See, it's like one tendril somewhere that does the trick, and I haven't quite figured it out. Anyhow, I'm not going to do that. And there is a recipe that's going to use this giant legion, but so far I haven't figured out. I think it's giant legion, giant toe, and I think this stuff here, whatever this was, makes swamp fungal pod, I think. And I think it makes some incredibly expensive potion, and it levels your alchemy. So let's see, we'll put some of this away so we can walk, and we'll keep, I don't need that, don't need that, don't need the creep cluster, don't need, though I do need the Deathbell for this, and I'll get rid of this. Oh well. So one of the sort of main points I'm trying to get across here to you is that there are decent potions you can make that you can just plain grow. If it's something like a riverbed you can grow too, actually. There's a way to do that. I may show you that sometime. But small antlers, like you're not going to get small antlers unless you find it or you kill a deer and then they have it. But if you have the house and you get the hot house and you get the garden out front or to the side of the house there, then you can grow this stuff and do it. So I didn't mean to eat that. Swamp fungal pod, I don't need that. I think now I'm just wasting time. There we go. Okay, so the two recipes are, I'll show you the first one. This is the non-paralysis. That's Bleeding Crown and Deathbell and Imp Stool. And I think Imp Stool makes you weakness to poison. I've forgotten. Weakness to poison. Lingering damage. So I could be using anything. I don't have to use Imp Stool for this recipe. Well, I'm not going to be making too much more of it anyway. Anyway, so the first recipe is this one. This gives you the bonus to the amount of damage. And so here it is, yada yada. I'm going to press R and I'm going to make it. And you can see it's not very much. But this recipe, Canis Root and Imp Stool and Mora Tapinella, check this one out. So this is the one that gives you the 8 seconds of paralysis plus the 8. While they're down for 8 seconds, they're going to take 8 points of damage per second, or 80 points of damage. But check out the amount of increase. So R, look at that. Not bad. And I'm at level 37. See that now I'm at 4, almost. I'm going to make it to 40. So that is that particular recipe. Again, that's Canis Root, Imp Stool, Mora Tapinella. You don't have to have the indoor. You could just grow those 3 outside in the garden. And if you want to level your alchemy every 3 days, each one of those plants I pick is 3 of each. So if I pick one Imp Stool, I get 3 Imp Stools. Whereas if you're out in the wild in a cave, for some reason, if you pick Imp Stool, you get 1. But if you pick it from your garden, you get 3. So if you've got 3 of them growing, that's 9, if that follows. So this is not the worst recipe in the world to make. And obviously this is useful. Not every target can be paralyzed. Not even every target can be poisoned. I believe Draugr Undead, they can't be poisoned, but they can be paralyzed. And if the target can't be paralyzed, maybe it can be poisoned, if you see what I mean. So it's not, so making this potion's not the worst idea in the world. It's a decent potion to make. Anyway, so that's just something that you can use that's useful. You can just sell it too. Here, let's check and see what this is worth. Where's the missus? Boy, you know, you want to talk to her and where they're always going. She's probably out shopping. Get up, honey. What have you got for sale? Her prices. My prices, I have a couple of points into speech now. I'm trying to get, so I took the perk where I'm better with the opposite sex and so on. So these aren't just your plain cold, no speech affected prices. It's a little bit better. But here this paralysis potion is worth 227. So if I devoted all of my garden space to only this and made only these, I'd make a ton of money. I mean, 227, it's not a huge amount, but it's not nothing. And, you know, I got 30 of them. I've hardly tried. So, needless to say, with all this stuff, anytime I have, the first time I fire the bow, it's got a poison on it every time, no matter what. All right, well, I think that's it. There's nothing else about this that you need to see. This guy is super interesting. When I made him, he was standing on this pedestal here, and he moves. This guy walks around the house. I don't know. He doesn't walk around the house, but he moves. Why is he off the pedestal? It's creepy. All right. I think that's about all I want to show you. The only other thing about the house that I think is super useful and is a must-buy is once you get a house Carl, and generally if you have the house built and you bring a follower to the house, there'll be an option in the dialogue to turn them into, not a house caller, what do they call it, a steward. And then once they're a steward, you can buy things for the house, and one of them is a horse, which I have not done yet. You can have them buy materials like wood, so you don't have to go. And one of the other things you can have them buy is this carriage. I don't know if I've shown you this, but anyway, the carriage, normally you go to places, the available places are Dawnstar, Falkreath, Markarth, Morthal, Rifted. You get the big cities. You can't go to Riverwood. You can't go to Rorikstead. You can't go to what's the other one? Iverstead. I think that's the place where you take the trail up to High Hrothgar, the 7,000 steps. Normally you don't get those, but when you pay 500 to have this carriage driver come, you get all these other places to go, and it's worth 500 gold, and it really turns your home into a hub and a place to be. I'm sure you figured out how to add a wing to the place. That's what this is. You just add the wing. I think that's the west wing. And I forgot what it's called, hothouse or something. But there's an east wing here too that I haven't done anything with, and then a north wing. I'm not sure why I need storage for what. What am I going to store? I guess trophy room, maybe. I don't know. Library, maybe library. I got lots of books. I mean, apparently I'm never going to read them, but I got them. I know. Anyway, one of these is, the west side of the house, and that's where the garden went in. So you'd have to go here, click on it. We'll pretend the library is the garden place, and then you can build it. First you have to build the library doors, and then you build the building and the frame and the foundation and all that bullshit. Yeah. So I think about 3 days. You have to wait 72 hours. I think that's right. It won't work unless you come to it. So inside it has to be 3 days, and you have to leave and come back. You can't just sit inside and do it for 3 days. Okay, that's it. 15 minutes, not too bad. Okay, man, take care, and I'll see you Saturday. Bye now.